This is Elena with the Gratitude Sessions. And for those of you who are catching this on the replay, I do these on live. I do them live on Periscope Sunday morning, sometimes on a Monday. I'm outside today on a lake, which is really beautiful here in Florida. It'll probably be the only time that I broadcast from here. But I wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping as you guys arrive. If you're catching this on the replay, my name is Elena. This is the Food Practice Weekly, and you're probably catching this on one of my Facebook pages or the actual web page or website called FoodPractice.com. So welcome. But if you want to catch these live on Periscope so that you are part of the discussion that happens after I do my talk, go to foodpractice.com, and on the landing page what you'll find is that I've got a pretty big box of images and links. There's a badge that's titled Food Practice Weekly. Click on that and that'll explain to you A, what Periscope is if you don't know what it is, and B, how to connect with Periscope so that you can catch these live, which is always fun. Typically what I do on these is I'll do a little quick talk on an aspect of food practice, and then I'll do question and answer if there is any with those who are here on the scope live. So if you catch me talking to someone or as if I'm responding to someone, then that's what it is. You're not going to see it on your end, but there is actual dialogue that's going on here, which is really fun. It's kind of windy. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. If you're arriving, please let me know if the sound is okay. Welcome, welcome. And Food Practice is a website that I write on where we explore the intersections between our own sense of self-worth and our relationship with food, as well as creating mindful, meaningful culture. I have hair on my face. Creating mindful and meaningful culture around the dinner table with our family, our friends, or with our community. So it's both a personal, interpersonal relationship with food that's our own, but also how we share food and how we create meaningful culture in our families and in our relationships and in our community with food at the dinner table. So that's that bit of housekeeping. There's a couple more things, announcements for the website, which again is foodpractice.com. I encourage all of you guys who have not been there to go. Foodpractice.com has a couple of things going on right now. We just launched a book called Winter, an Inward, Turning Inward, where through the metaphor of the seasons, we're going through and establishing a recalibration in our relationship with food using the seasons. And there are 13 practices in this book, simple meditations, simple exercises to use to help you reconnect with your intuition and what your body knowing is when it comes to the food that you eat. Winter is about creating a foundation in a healthy relationship with food, where spring, summer, and fall will be very, very different and focus on other things like cooking or sharing food with other people or hosting events. So each season is very different. This season starts this week, which is what we're talking about today on this Food Practice Weekly. And the book starts the practices this week. So if you're interested in that, it's an ebook, it's cheap, it's packed with all sorts of information and exercises and meditations to take you through the 13 weeks of this season. This season starts this week, you guys, so go to foodpractice.com. The big link that you'll see will be the image of the book, a link, and it'll take you through a super detailed explanation about what we're covering. But I would love to do this with you. We're all going to be doing it together for 13 weeks. There is a private discussion group on Facebook that will go along with this. So I encourage you guys to go and share this with your friends. There's that. Other than that, I don't think that there's any other housekeeping, so I'm going to start. If you guys can hear me okay, that's great. If you guys want to invite friends, that's even better. But food practice, the beginning of winter, and the madness that is the holiday season of dinners and events and parties. Most of us have already started. I have been with friends and family for the last 2 weeks in 2 different states now. We've had all sorts of gatherings over dinner, which have been amazing. We are heading over to California now to have Christmas with my mom and that family, and then we're going to be going to Santa Cruz to have Christmas with John's family in Santa Cruz. So there's all that. In the middle of that, I celebrate solstice, winter solstice, so there's going to be that celebration. There's just so much going on, and it all revolves around getting together with people and food, which is huge. And for a lot of people, it can be a really huge trigger. But for a lot of people, it's just super stressful, right? Like there are all these events. There's a lot of eating involved, usually with really great food, sometimes with super unhealthy food, sometimes with really phenomenal food. But there's a lot happening, and this is really supposed to be a season where we retreat, where we slow it down, where we rest, where we take some inventory, and also re-nourish ourselves from the year that we've had up until this time. So it's almost a little counterintuitive, even though it's really a beloved part of the season, coming together with people around the dinner table. So there's a lot going on here. We will have total questions at the end of this quick talk, so hold them. What I really want to do is give you guys permission to take your time, pace yourself, set boundaries. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 gatherings is a little too much. It's okay to say no to some. It's okay to say yes to others. It's okay to take time for yourself, because sometimes it can be incredibly stressful. One of my favorite movies is super dysfunctional. It's called Home for the Holidays, and I think it's about their Thanksgiving dinner. But if you've ever watched it, you get it, right? Like there's a lot of tension sometimes around coming together with people that you only see once a year. Like, it's family, there's maybe some kind of strife going on, who knows? It just gets a little crazy. There's a family crazy train culture, right, that we all participate in, and it's sort of funny from the distance, but when you're in it, it can make for a really tense eating experience, which also translates into bloatedness, feeling stuffed, uncomfortable, that when you have to lean back and like unbutton your pants and you're like in this food coma. Those aren't necessarily, actually those are not at all healthy responses to food. Food is supposed to be really nourishing and enhancing and energizing. And so I would really want to encourage all of you guys to take a moment, really decide what will make you feel most comfortable, what will make you feel most pleasure throughout the holiday, and try to create that for yourself, even if it means that you're hanging out with family and it's a little tense and you need to remove yourself from the table for a second to kind of bring it back and then re-engage. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to hear if any of you guys have any thoughts on this. I'm going to definitely be writing a post that I'm posting tomorrow evening on like 5 steps to help you get through the holidays with some ease and some peace. Because the other thing is that even though you might feel a certain amount of dread of, oh God, we're gonna have to go to dinner and we have to see so-and-so, there's also something really beautiful about having people, right, that you get together with and you break bread with, even if they're not necessarily the easiest relationship to have. So there's that aspect of it. I think that changing our attitude a little bit, just really list for ourselves those things that we have to be grateful for in gathering with these people for the holidays, that can really help shape and shift your attitude if you're having some sense of resistance to it. And then the other end of it is that if you're alone for the holidays, and this is a holiday where people get really sad, really depressed because some people have passed, sometimes we're not any longer in relationship with people that we used to care for, and we end up having these big events in the year alone, which is, it's sad. It can be really, really sad and mournful and bring some depression along with it. I really implore all of you to seek some support, whether it's on the phone, whether it's with friends that you do know, or take yourself out. I don't know that this is necessarily a bad thing. I love going out to breakfast and out to lunch by myself and just having a moment to celebrate myself and celebrate the food that I'm eating. That's okay too. You don't all have to participate in this holiday. I mean, that's another way to make it peaceful for yourself, but if that's something that you have to do because it's not by choice, then let's talk about ways to make that easier for you and shift the thinking, because there's a lot of lack in that thinking, like, oh, I don't have anyone, I can't do it, I'm really sad, everyone has this and I don't have that. But if you take that, turn it on its head and focus on what you do have, that can help shift the way you approach it and the way it affects you. One of the other things that I do is I host a nightly, or as nightly as I can, gratitude session here on Periscope, and soon there will be a website for this. But one of the things that we talk a lot about on the gratitude sessions, and there's countless research on this, where when you focus on the things that you have to be grateful for, your ability to notice that more increases, and the effect that the lack that you have in your life decreases, which is powerful when you really think about that. If you are alone for the holidays, if this is a really sad time for you during the year, thinking about and trying to really find 10, 15, 20 things, even if they're teeny, that you're really grateful for in your own personal life can really help to shift the way you are affected by what you lack. This is powerful, you guys. So there are different ways to handle the holidays. If you're going to be alone, that's a way to deal with it in a way that makes it a little easier for you. If you are with a lot of people and that's overwhelming and overstimulating and can bring some tension with like family, there are ways to deal with that as well. So I really want to wish all of you, no matter what you're doing, a beautiful week that is filled with discovery, that is filled with nourishment, that is filled with empowerment to make choices about how exactly you want to spend this holiday week and how it's going to be for you in a way that's pleasurable. I empower you to make those choices for yourself, and I also wish everyone who's getting together a healing and peaceful experience across the dinner table. And I then ask you also to go to the website, foodpractice.com. Tomorrow night, Monday evening, there will be a post on 5 things that you can do to make your holiday experience most nourishing, both with food and in general, as possible. So there are only 2 of you here right now. If you guys have any questions, please, this is the time to ask them. And if not, that's okay too. I'm going to take this video and I'm going to edit it a little bit probably, and then throw it on the website. So by tomorrow, this should be on the website as well. But foodpractice.com is where you're going to find the posts, the list of things that will make this season better. There are a couple of recipes that are really great for the holiday season as well. And I also want to ask you guys to please, please, please sign up for the newsletter. There are all sorts of amazing things coming up in the new year that I want you guys to be totally aware of. There are a couple of freebies I just released. We just launched the winter book that's on sale at the website now, but people who had been on the newsletter before got it for free. So you guys get, people who are on the newsletter sign-up list get all sorts of goodies, and we'll be getting all sorts of goodies in the future. So make sure to sign up for that. And I think that's it. If anyone has anything that they want to share or ask, I would love for you to do that now. And thank you for the hearts. The hearts are great. And if not, enjoy. Be safe. Don't drink and drive, which I think sounds like super cliche and lame, but don't. Just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself in all ways, in ways that bring you pleasure, in ways that bring you nourishment, in ways that bring you safe experiences. And yeah, let's celebrate the end of this year. 2015 is over, and no matter what you worship or don't worship, what you celebrate or you don't celebrate, this is kind of an auspicious time, right? Because we're closing a season, we're closing a cycle. So I wish for you guys a really beautiful way to do that, whatever that may look like for you. And I will see you again next week here. And I will also be seeing you on the website.